Legend of Total War here, and I'm here with Simpsy Total War, and we're going to discuss some Warhammer stuff today. How's it going, Simpsy?
Why you call me SimCity,
I'm just,
motherfucker?
I'm
A
just
major kill, major kill.
Oh, right,
The
sorry.
other Aussie,
You
the
both
other Aussie on the block.
you both sound exactly the same. Sorry, I got confused there.
Oh, wait, that's racist. All
Well,
right,
you can't be racist towards yourself.
that's true, but we can try.
Yeah.
So, what have we got on today, Legend?
So we're going to discuss 5 different topics of Warhammer Fantasy. So not necessarily Total War Warhammer, and we're both going to argue 5 different categories with 5 different characters for those categories.
It's going to be pretty one-sided. Obviously, Legend, he's good at playing Total War, but he knows, fuck all about the lore. I'm a lore
Yeah.
master, so this should be a pretty easy win for me.
Yeah, I'm out of my element here. Yeah, so that's
How does
okay. I'm
compensate?
used to that. It's fine. All right, so uh, the first one is best caster. So who's your pick for best caster in the Warhammer
Well,
Fantasy?
there is obviously only one option here. Everyone knows him. He's in the game, and it's Lord Croak, the venerable Lord Croak. And a quick intro on him and why he's by far just shits on everyone. He can create mini suns. He creates a force field that lasted for years. He's killed hundreds and thousands of demons, and he died and can still come back and shit on everyone. So that's my little taste on him. But who's your caster? Who do you reckon beats Lord Croak?
Okay, I reckon this guy shits on everyone. I'm going with Nagash. Now, you said Lord Croak died and come back to life. Okay, Nagash can bring himself back to life infinite number of times.
No,
He's-
he needs Arkan. He needs Arkan to suck him off to bring him back to life. It's
that
hacks.
helps. That helps. It speeds up the process, but he can bring himself back using the Black Pyramid. How many times has he
Cool.
brought himself back now? I think he brings himself back like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but you know what that means? It means for him to bring himself 2 or 3 times, it means he's died 2 or 3 times.
Yes, he
what
has.
a
Look,
what a
I'm
fucking
not going
loser.
to sit here and say that Nagash was the most successful caster of all times. He's made some silly mistakes, but it's out of pure ambition. I mean, this guy literally killed everyone in Nehekara. Everybody died in Nehekara, and he was trying to kill the entire world. And if it wasn't for, don't forget as well, the one time, just once, this has ever happened in history. The one time the entirety of the 13 clans of Skaven united was to stop Nagash. It was the only time it ever happened, and that didn't even happen during the end times. This is a guy that's so powerful that even the 4 Chaos Gods shit themselves when he shows up.
Yeah, briefly before he then got absolutely sucked on into a chaos portal and died. I've actually made a versus series on these two, and I think Lord Croak, if they saw each other, Lord Croak would just be like, "What up?" and then just put a sun in him. I don't know. I would say the big toad is still quite strong in this one. So let's say, what do you think would happen if both of them came up to each other and they want to fuck each other up full strength?
I think Nagash would win.
How do you reckon you'd throw some skelly bones at him or some shit?
Endless skeletons.
Do you reckon, have you played Lord Croak in the game? He has 3 spells and all of them shit on skeletons.
Well, here's the thing. Nagash isn't yet in the game because he's clearly going to be the final boss in number 3. They just tossed Croak in there because why not? Lizardman's already in there. We got vampire accounts and Tomb Kings, and yet Nagash isn't in the game yet. They're saving him for last.
Yeah, they're saving him for Lord Croak to come fuck him up. But I've presented mine. You've presented yours.
Yeah, we'll let the viewers decide from there.
Let the viewers decide. Obese Toad is the best for sure.
Okay, and I'm going with Boner King.
Boner King. I thought Setcher was the Boner King.
Yeah, I guess he is. Fair enough.
All right, what's the next category?
Next category is best fighter. So
I'm definitely going to win this one.
you went first last time, so I'll go
Yeah,
first.
go.
This time.
Listen,
So my pick is Grimgor Ironhide. Grimgor Ironhide beats everyone. He literally never loses. The only reason he died...
False.
No, he didn't lose. He died because...
Sounds like losing.
Yeah. Because somebody essentially cheated, and we'll get onto that later.
Well, don't know. Fair enough. Good pick. You know, he's the biggest and the baddest in the Badlands, but he does not hold a candle to Anarion the Defender, who was the chosen demigod warrior of Cain and Asuryan, the god of war and the god of elven gods. So
Now, if I'm not mistaken, something happened to Anarion, and something in battle. I believe he died. Is that right?
I mean, after one-shotting 4 of the greatest chaos demons ever to appear in the world, and then also flying multiple kilometers and then putting his legendary evil death sword back, and then dying, I think in terms of deaths, that's a lot more exciting death than Grimgor just kind of, getting decapitated by Archaon.
Sure. But one thing to consider as well is that Anarion had all these kinds of awesome equipment. Grimgor is essentially walking around with scraps.
Wait, he had a big axe. That was a big motherfucking axe.
Yeah, it's a big axe. That's about it. Was it made by a dwarven smith or an elven smith? I don't think so. What happens if you gave Grimgor Anarion's gear? What would happen then?
I don't think it would fit him, to be honest. But I think Anarion would still show him. But here, how about this? Crom the Conqueror? He was just some fucking loser,
actually, I am aware
beta Norscan dude, and he fought Grimgor to a standstill. His army actually beat Grimgor's army, and in a duel, Grimgor couldn't beat some fucking no-name Norscan. So, I reckon Anarion would one-shot the Norscan. Grimgor couldn't even beat him in a 1v1. What would you say to that one?
Yeah, that's the only time that I could see that Grimgor didn't win, but every other time he wins.
Until he loses.
No, until he died.
Which is the same.
Like he's not the best general in the world. His armies aren't great, but nobody could beat him in a single combat. Unfortunately, Anarion and Grimgor never met, so we can't see what would actually happen.
I would say fortunately for Grimgor they never met. That's what I would say.
Could be, but we'll never know. We'll leave it up to everyone else to decide who's
exactly.
Who's
yeah,
the
another
best.
one.
Okay, so the next category, the third one, is for best leader.
I know this sounds pretty. It's a very vanilla response, but I'm gonna have to go with Sigma for the best leader and the best king. He united humanity, created the empire. He actually willed himself to become a god. He didn't get chosen to be a god. He actually was like sitting down, like popping a squat and tensing really hard for about a few days, and then bang, he's a god. And only a king can do that successfully, or a good king.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good choice. My choice was Cetra. Now,
okay, this debate's over. You win.
Yeah,
next one
already. Jeez, that was you didn't even.
I'm a skelly boy. I just can't. He's
I had
special
so much
place in my
planned for
heart.
Cetra. I had all these things.
No, tell me. No, we'll do it. How about this? Fuck Sigma. Now we'll both just suck Cetra's dick. Go. Why is Cetra the best king? And then I'll say why he's the best king as well.
Oh, jeez, I didn't think it'd go down this way. Well, Cetra did create the largest empire in the history of mankind. So while Sigma did unite, the barbarians of man, I believe that Cetra's empire was bigger, and he sacrificed his sons for the betterment of Nehekara.
Yeah, which is it's common knowledge that only pious and religious figures kill their children.
Yeah,
or like proper kings, like
he
in
didn't
the Bible.
necessarily want to kill off his heirs, but he did it to make the river flow again, and it worked.
What a great you got to do it, for sure. And even when
sacrifice is what makes a great leader.
And when he was finally at the age of 300 or whatever, because they kept extending his life. When they were actually burying him, because they were like, you can't live any longer, you have to get buried until we can figure out how to sort you out. As they were burying him and he was sitting in his tomb, he was so pissed off that he hadn't conquered the entire world, and that was it. That's all he wanted to do, which is pretty
He's
sick.
basically the Warhammer version of Alexander the Great. If Alexander the Great didn't die at the age of 32.
Yeah, just times the age by 10, and it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. And also another thing to consider is that when he was finally awoken, he stopped the Tomb Kings from fighting amongst themselves.
And he instantly became king again.
Yep.
What an alpha.
Yep.
Just straight up.
All right. I guess
let the audience decide on that one.
Yeah, right. Okay,
tough one.
So the next one is best plot armor. And I'm going to go with Archaon. Archaon gets bullshit cheats.
Hacks.
Yeah, just hacks.
Hacks, lots of hacks.
So who's your choice?
Well, I agree that Archaon, he got fiddled pretty hard by the Chaos Gods. He's tried to kill himself a few times, but like they wouldn't let him. But the true number one plot armor character in Warhammer Fantasy is definitely Felix from Felix and Gotrek. Like he hangs out. His best friend is a demigod slayer who wants to die, and he's a normal dude that is okay with a sword, and he's been able to survive through countless adventures, killing massive trolls. Like they fought a dragon, like they fought all these cults and shit. Like there's no way he could live through that without plot armor.
Well, I actually I didn't know about Felix at all until today, and I read up a little bit about him. He does have a really cool sword, like a dragon sword or something, so that gives him a huge advantage. And apparently he actually obtained immortality, so whilst he may have started off as just a regular dude, he did obtain great power through his adventures, so that's probably why he was able to get it. Now, that's much the same with Archaon as well, I suppose. I forget what his original name was, but he was just some priest of Sigmar. Anyway, it seems like every time that Archaon gets into trouble, he just be like, Chaos God, save me. He's basically Kratos, okay? Ares, destroy my enemies and my life is yours. And they just come in and be like, alright, bail him out.
Send it true. But I reckon if Archaon and Felix met and fought, Archaon would lose because Felix would like cheese it. Like with the sword and all the immortality, the only thing that gives him is more plot armor. That's it. They have to justify dragging this like normal dude's ass.
Archaon would lose, but then he'd just summon the Chaos Gods and kill Felix. He just
then just as it's about to do it, Gotrek would jump out and save the day. Or, Archaon would have cardiac arrest or some shit.
Yeah, but still, he'd summon a different Chaos God, and then that way Gotrek would get what he wants and dies. I mean, in
the Chaos God of heart health.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, even in his final plan, like to essentially blow up the world, he didn't win based on he was gonna lose, right? And then, due to plot armor, it all magically worked out for him because Manfred's a bitch. If that's not plot armor, oh my god, my plan's about to fail. What should I do? I know. Story writers, please give me a bailout. Oh look, Manfred went and killed Guilt.
I'm not denying that Archaon doesn't have some pretty fat plot armor.
Yeah.
But Felix, like he apparently I've heard they're writing him into Age of Sigmar. It's the next thing, and his last thing he did in fantasy was he was trapped in a temple that was collapsing, and he was running out of oxygen, and like that's it, he was going to die. But now he's somehow coming back, and that is like
loads of people came back.
Incredible, yeah, loads of gods and stuff.
Age of Sigmar doesn't count.
Yeah, true. Actually, fuck that one. I'm embarrassed for even bringing it up.
That's actually a bad point that you just made.
That's it. I lose a point on that one. Damn.
Okay, so again, we'll just let the viewers decide on that one because it is a good point. Like Felix does have a lot of plot armor, but I don't know. It's hard to argue against Archaon.
No,
and then the next one, the final point. This is for the weebs out there. The most fuckable.
Which is everyone.
It's not everyone, but Opera Lars, this one's for you because I know you'll be watching. So
am I announcing this one? The most
you
fuckable Warhammer, male or female, we don't discriminate. We are picking females. So we did. Well, like maybe we wouldn't have, but we did. And I'm choosing Alariel because when I think of fuckable, I don't think the Helibrons and the Marathis and like the ones that just love a dick a day. I'm thinking of the like the frigid kind of like hard to get, like barely fucks anyone kind of situation, and that's why I chose Alariel.
All right, and I went with Marathi. The thing is, Marathi's got everything you want, right? She's
an incestual relationship with her son.
It doesn't matter. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, this is not. You don't marry Marathi. Okay, you don't marry her. Okay, and it's not. It's only incestuous with Malekith, right?
It's the only person it can be incestuous with.
Dark hair, light eyes, fair skin, barely any clothes, eternal beauty. Probably
you definitely have a type. Probably a big bitch.
Probably a big bitch.
You definitely have a type. You have a type.
That is totally my type.
Oh, I'm struggling here because I would love to fuck Alariel, but I do like my brunettes.
Here's the thing. Did you ever play Witcher 3?
Yeah, I did.
Triss or Yennefer?
Oh, damn. Both at the same time. I
You
don't know.
can't choose that. You lose both if you do both.
Fine. Yennefer.
Yep, Yennefer, see? Yennefer is essentially the Witcher version of Marathi.
But she has such a sexy name. Well, I'm thinking like this. When I see two chicks and I get to pick one, am I going to go with the one that probably has 100 STDs, fucks her son, is psychopathic, and literally has an army of prostitutes at her disposal? Or do I want to go for like the petite, the cute, like the queen, classy? Like I like my girls classy. You know what I mean? Like class or Marathi.
Yeah, but to be honest, Alariel really needs a sandwich. She's all skin and bones, you know.
She's also...
And you know, the frigid ones, you know, it might seem like, oh, it's you know, a great conquest on paper, but you know, anyone who has actually been with a frigid girl will tell you it's not worth the effort. It's not worth it.
I can agree with that. Although Alariel did for a while. Fuck
the damn image.
The damage.
Since
It's just Marathi just zoomed in her tits or something.
I've had these screenshots set up and I just forgot to change them since Grimgore. Oh god.
See,
It's been sitting on Grimgore for ages.
Wait, plot twist. Most fuckable is Grimgore for sure.
Yeah. Whoops.
Well, there's two different contrasts here. We've got Thotty and we've got Class. So it'll be interesting to see what people think about this one because two distinctly different options.
Yep, it is. It reminds me of the conversation that Gimli had with Theo something in Lord of the Rings between Galadriel and Aragorn's bitch. I can't remember her name.
No one does.
Lord of the Rings fans will know, but I've totally forgotten all their names.
Oh yeah, you're about to get roasted by your Lord of the Rings fans.
Yeah, that happens all the time though. I'm always.
What they say?
Oh, it's just having an argument.
Oh yeah, between the two. Yeah.
Basically, it came down to one of them likes the dawn, one of them likes the dusk. And I'm a dusk kind of guy myself.
In dusk. Is that when you operate?
I do. I operate at night. I'm pretty nocturnal. It's probably why I went with Nagesh as well.
Mate, you're saying I like skin and bone, and then you pick Nagesh. Like, what's going on there? I need some continuity.
Yeah, but I wouldn't fuck Nagesh.
Yeah, fair. That'd be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Probably get chafing. All right, well, that sorts that one. I'm feeling confident that I have convinced everyone of the situation. Best of luck to you though. You did try really hard.
Yeah, I did the best I could, but your knowledge of lore is much better than mine.
That's right. If we ever played a custom battle, you'd beat me before I would even entered the deployment phase. So.
Yeah, I've never done that before.
Then you haven't versed me. Well, it was good to chat to you today, mate. It was good to sort this list out, and it was good to do it.
Okay, well, that's the end of this video. And if you haven't checked out Majorkill, I'll leave a link in the description. He's got a whole bunch of lore videos that you can check out, because I don't really cover the lore that much. But I didn't see many Total War Warhammer gameplay, so you'll have to put some of that on your channel at some point.
Oh, mate, that was early days. Failed miserably, didn't crack 1,000 views.
Oh, well then, I guess
don't check those out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, oh well.
And I'm sure my lore videos wouldn't even crack 1,000 views either, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright?
Right, wait, you think I know what I'm talking about?
On what?
It's always that who can talk the most shit and convince people, because they don't know the law.
I guess so.
Anyway, that's a secret that I wasn't supposed to leak. Shh, we're cutting that out now.
Okay.
Alright, well, thanks for having me.
No worries, and we'll see everyone next time, fuckers.